Hello everyone, welcome to the Pinay Yogini channel. And before anything else, I would like to greet all the mothers in the world. Happy Mother's Day to you all, especially to my mother. Nay, happy Mother's Day. I hope all the mothers out there could find time to giving themselves at least an hour or 30 minutes of nurturing their mind, their bodies, because we all deserve it. In spite of a busy schedule every day, you can find ways of doing it. You can do it. Good luck to you all. While I'm sharing you my quick yoga practice yesterday, I decided to read you an amazing story from Steve Ross. It's from his book called Happy Yoga. Steve Ross is a monk, but before he became a monk, he was a yoga guru. Here it is: fleeting pleasure versus true happiness. There is a significant difference between pleasure and happiness. Pleasure comes from getting what you want. For example, good food, expensive bags, shoes, and clothes. But pleasure is short lived and fickle. It lasts for as long as it lasts, a few good hours at best, and then it's gone. Pleasure's fleeting, but true happiness is inexhaustible and permanent. Pleasure and pain are two sides of the same coin, but never goes anywhere without the other. And they alternate. You may eat, but you'll be hungry again. You're lonely, then you're in love. Then you're lonely, then you're in love. Then you're lonely and in love at the same time. Love and hate, war and peace, hot and cold, success and failure, rich and poor, and on and on. But true happiness transcends the pain pleasure principle. Everyone has isolated moments of feeling on top of the world. When you buy something you really want, achieve a long held goal, overcome a monumental challenge, or even fall in love. Yes, it feels phenomenal. In that moment, the mind is quiet. There's a sense of intense satisfaction, and a tiny sliver of happiness is revealed. This sliver is pleasure. You might think it comes from buying a new house, getting a big promotion at work, finding true love, or winning a prestigious award. But the truth is that these things just assuage your desires long enough for you to experience your natural state. The happiness is the same happiness every time. The happiness is in you. The fulfillment of desires just gives you a brief glimpse of what you really are. But you don't have to just glimpse. The material world can give you peek at pleasure, but lasting happiness is found right where you are. Happiness is in you. It is you, and it's not coming from any external source, including the shopping mall. And I did mention happiness is not at the shopping mall. This is the essential point. Brief happiness or pleasure doesn't come from from the object of satisfaction. It comes from you. This is where many people are erroneous in object of satisfaction. It comes from you. This is where many people are erroneous in their perception, and why many people stress out, worry, and suffer. They believed happiness is out there somewhere. A wise man I met in India put it to me this way: you're living on a mountain of gold and you don't even realize it. Every time it rains, the dirt and muck are washed away and the gold revealed. And you run out into the rain, scooping up a fistful of gold and dancing around. But you mistakenly think that the rain is bringing the gold, so you worship the rain. And you make sacrifices with your schedule to please the rain. When there's a drought, you became poor, starve, and bemoan the absence of rain. But the gold is always there, just beneath the surface, and the rain has simply been revealing it. If you just dust off the mountain the slightest bit, you'd see it for what it is. Scratch the surface, look deeper. There's no need to rely on the rain to reveal your happiness. Let's say you want to buy a new car. The advertisements are totally amazing. Your wife wants you to buy a new car. Your neighbors want you to buy a cool new car. The, the car company wants you to buy the cool new car. And you know all your friends will say, "Wow, that's a cool car." You get all this external pleasure and consequential internal desire. And you're thinking, if only I could get it, get it, get it, get it. That wanting is desire. And let's say you finally get the cool new car. At the moment you get the car, what happens? You feel pleasure. Why? You feel pleasure because that desire is gone. For the moment, you feel pleasure because when there's no desire, there's no tension, no future, no past, no unnecessary mind activity. It's a taste of freedom. This spaciousness allows pleasure to dominate your awareness. Do you think the car gave you that glimpse of happiness? If the car actually gave you happiness, you would always be happy from that car. Is that your experience? Probably not. You may be happy for a week, 2 weeks, or even 3 weeks if you're lucky. And then it's on to fulfilling your next desire. Your normal thought stream creep back in. Okay, I've got this new car now. But what about the rest of my life? My wife's bugging me about something else. I've had a hard day at the office. My house is too small. I think I've gained 5 pounds. Is your car still giving you happiness? No. Pretty soon, you're just indifferent to it. Or even worse, it may break down and be expensive to fix. And then it's just another thing to worry about. Aren't pain and pleasure slippery? You can spend all your time going back and forth between the two. Pain and pleasure will throw you around, give you brushes, then give you candy. All the while, convincing you that each new pleasure will last forever. Like the victim of a nimble pickpocket, you can barely tell you're being robbed all your life. Now, I'm not saying move out of your house, relinquish your possessions, and live in the streets, and that will make you happy. That, that's not it at all. Living like a monk isn't necessarily going to remove your desires either. Having is not a problem at all. It's wonderful to be grateful for what you do have. And it's great to have fun in the world. You can have and enjoy all that you can manage. Suffering does not come from having, it comes from endless wanting. Having is a necessity for survival. Having a roof over your head and food in your belly will not cause pain. When you truly have something, you accept it just as it is. There's no lofty expectations projected onto it. Will winning $1 trillion make you happy? Well, you will have $1 trillion. But true happiness? Nope. $1 trillion is just $1 trillion. Does having a roof over your head and food in your belly guarantee happiness? No, just food and shelter. You can have food, shelter, and even $1 trillion. But your experience of these things has very little to do with the things themselves. And it has everything to do with the one who is experiencing them. You can be miserable or happy. That's really up to you. Ownership and having don't rule out attaining uninterrupted happiness, but they don't promise to deliver it either. Remember, true happiness is independent of circumstance. Pleasure depends on circumstance. True happiness is prior and senior to the flickering phenomena of the world. True happiness transcends the boundaries of the mind and the limitations of conditions property. True happiness is uninterrupted. The truth of the universe can only be realized within the framework of the human body. Loving requires no effort. Desperately wanting love is exhausting. Why not do yourself a favor and let the world off the hook? Be the love you want. Be the approval you want. Try loving the world and see how much easier your life gets.